like you
Bikini.
know it's just like this is the
Sorry.
most exciting thing for everyone. If you're not used to seeing Brad, Brad's usually
Hi.
behind the camera of all the videos we do here on YouTube, and you're also not used to seeing other faces on this YouTube channel. So I just want to shout out to Maria Earle and Brooke Siler who are joining us today. And if you are watching us live, you can post your questions and we'll answer them. If you're watching this later, of course you can post your questions in the comments. I'll do my best to field them off to Brooke and Maria or answer them if I can. But this is exciting, ladies. We're together for a very important event. Brooke, do you want to tell everyone? Like, maybe we
It's
should start with,
very
like, hold up,
exciting.
just in
Yeah,
case people don't know who you are. And
sure. That happens. It
why don't you have you
happens.
introduce yourself, and then we'll have Maria introduce herself. So go ahead, Brooke, take us away.
So, my name is Brooke Siler, and I'm the author of The Pilates Body 25 years ago, and then The Pilates Body now, 25 years later. So, yeah, it's a whole new, bigger, bolder endeavor.
It
And
really is
that's,
a bigger and bolder
yeah,
endeavor. I
yeah.
had the pleasure of like reading through it this week, and I was
Oh,
excited
good.
to see, what changes weren't made, but also what you have added to it. And maybe
Yeah.
that's a good time to introduce Maria Earle, the badass that Maria Earle is. Maria, do you want to tell everyone who you are in case they don't know you?
Hi, everybody. My name is Maria Earle. I am a Pilates teacher based in Barcelona, and well, I mean,
And a model.
And a
I've been
model.
teaching Pilates for a long time, and Brooke and I are good friends, and it was an amazing opportunity that I couldn't say no to when she asked me to be the model in the first, I'm sorry, in the new chapter of this edition. And so, yeah,
And
it's exciting.
so,
Yeah.
okay, you guys have had to keep this under wraps for how long? Like, how long has this been a secret? Because, like,
It's uh,
how long have you been working on the second
Sep-
edition, Brooke? And then,
September 2024 was when we shot it.
oh,
And I had started writing it back in, I want to say April of 2024. It's been a long time. I mean, I
wow.
rewrote it. I mean, the photos are the same from the first book because, first of all, don't mess with something that works, right? It wasn't broken. But also, publishing is very different nowadays, and they don't pay like they used to. So it wasn't like I could redo, and I didn't really want to either. Like it just there's things that I would have maybe changed a little bit to make it more in keeping with the archival work. But I just decided to make the new chapter more, that's bringing that new in and just leave the old as it was. Again, not
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. It's so crazy to hear. Like, so, like, how long something is in production, and then you really, and then you have to go on with your life.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we all get to like get the excitement around something you've been working on from over a year ago. I
Yeah.
was, going through this, and I have to say, like, I do love what you kept, because there's like the
Good.
nostalgia of like what this book
Yeah.
was in my life, right? And I know for people watching in their lives, because I've heard since like it's been announced, like how many people are like, oh my God, it was the first book I ever experienced. But I also love the additions, because with time and with people experiencing the book and hearing how people experience the book, then you get to make it something it couldn't have been otherwise.
Agreed. I mean, there's 25 more years of experience in my life and everything else I've done. But I do want to say the first book was written while I was still under Ramana's tutelage. Like I was with her every week. And so when I wrote it, it has that her energy in it too, so that I didn't want to remove that. And it's meaningful, I remember showing it to her when it was done and her saying, "Oh my, it's a beautiful book." And I dedicated it to her. It's a special thing. I didn't want to strip it down for parts kind of thing. So instead we just added to it. And yeah, like you said, it's adding something that I didn't know 25 years ago. I wouldn't have looked at the work in that way. I think it's you step back from the canvas, right? In a certain way. And then you come back and you're like, oh, I see things differently. So yeah.
Yeah. Maria,
Maria is also, so I was
go
just
ahead.
going to say, Maria is also, another reason I really was hoping Maria would say yes was her, I want to say upbringing. Isn't that funny? But like, yeah, her upbringing from Kathy Grant, that's, and the pandiculation also, right, Maria? So
Yeah.
I'll leave it to you. Yeah.
Yeah, Maria,
Animals
I mean,
anyway.
Maria, you have like decades of teaching experience as well. And I don't know, like, I don't know your history with the original book, if you even needed it because of or if you even had it as a resource that you were doing, but like obviously you being brought to this material, it's so beautiful to like read Brooke's words, which of course like are the words that like even in my training with Jay, like I'm like, yes, I this is the thing that you're always trying to help people understand. But then seeing your body do them, it helps with the people who are visual learners understand because it's hard to take a picture and make it be and make it encompass everything we want it to have.
Very.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those pictures were really hard to take.
It was incredible though.
We spent a long day
Yeah.
in the studio. Not just like taking pictures, but also, um, Brooke was really putting the work in me, so I
Yeah.
wasn't just making shapes. I was like
It's like a
really
10-hour session.
right. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I was
Yeah.
trying to embody the words that she was, giving me. And she had prepped me with some with sort of an outline, right? So I had a general idea of what we were gonna do, but um it's very different like being in the space and having her eyes and her vision, and I was doing my very very best to to honor the work that she had really put in it. I knew that I was going to be the visual aspect of it, so I really wanted. I'm glad. I love hearing, Lesley, that you felt like seeing the pictures, that it helped to, like, you saw me embodying the words that were in the description, because that's not so easy to you know to convey through a snapshot. So
It's so
um
hard. It's so hard.
yeah.
Like, I remember like Jay just being like, photos are really difficult to actually because they're snapshots in the movement, right?
Right.
Like you a photographer could snap a split second late and the connection
Right.
you're well on your way to return. So it's not as expanded as it could be. Or
Right.
you've expanded too long and now you've lost it. Like it can be so difficult. I will say, Brooke, I was talking with Sandy about her book and Jay had left everything to Sandy that was Pilates related, and he had always said, like, out of the three books he liked, yours is one of them, and I was like so pleased to hear that because of course I love it so much, and like I'm like, come on, Jay, I love it too,
Yeah.
but also like for some, but like he. It's so hard to get pictures too, but you also have to have them because you wanted to create something that people could take out into the world. And I think the three of us and everyone who's watching this, the accessibility of Pilates is so important, because it's how you have that consistent practice. It doesn't have to be that you're in the studio every day. I mean, some of us are lucky to have access to equipment all the time, but to have
Yeah.
something, and that's what your book really gave me at the time that I just got into Pilates. Like it was like the accessibility so I could do Pilates every day when I couldn't afford to go.
Yeah, yeah, break the binding. I was talking to someone about that recently. Like, just break that binding. You got to lay it flat and get it out, and that's what you do. And some people, the I think for me, kind of the magic of it originally was that it has it. I think of it as being for all learners because it has the visual reality, right? The photos. It has the verbal reality in the step by steps, and then everything else is metaphor. The images are metaphors. The little, raise your arms up as if you're a tree growing out of the ground. It has all of that. So, however you learn, outside of being tactile and kinesthetic, but just it kind of it. I think it captures that for many more people than just reading through. I'm not a read through instructions girl. Like that's not going to happen. Like if I see that, my mind just goes blank. I need pictures, visual, visual, visual. So for me, that was really important. But I think that Maria, what was happening for us in the studio, also the photographer, Liz Evans, who's phenomenal, we had this like very amazing energy happening in that studio. Which often happens in Maria's amazing studio, but that energy, it does seep into photos, whether people, if you don't have to believe it, but there's something in there, and I think that's captured in those moments too. She's also the perfect person to have been doing it, as I was saying with Kathy Grant. Kathy Grant was also a big believer in Move Like the Animals. And so this is not unfamiliar territory for Maria. We just hadn't actually done a session ever like this. So it was just the first and longest session ever. and it just happened to work out amazingly. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was great. And also, we were also, there with Return to Life, right? So we kept
exactly.
looking back and forth and like, in real time, like trying to look at the pictures of,
Mr. Feet flexed and point. Yeah.
Right. And then we're like, yeah. So like, it doesn't have to be as high or as,
right.
The vernacular that gets shown so much of this work is kind of through a dancer's lens. So everything tends to be, very large in this way, and it's about lines, and it's about extension, and then you're looking at the pictures of Mr. Pilates and trying to figure out, well, like, what is he really doing in these pictures,
and why,
and why?
Like, what's the purpose? I mean,
right.
He wants us to breathe.
Right. So it was like a real sort of new kind of it sounds silly to say it, after I've been like teaching this work for like 30 years, right? It's like, but we're like really trying to ask the question, like, what is going on here in this moment? And like peeling away all the things that you have been indoctrinated with, to like really see it with fresh new eyes, really like dig into like, what is the essence at the heart of this thing? And I think the pandiculation really speaks to that whole full-bodied embodiment thing, that's not just about like, what is the main muscle group that's working in this exercise?
Exactly. Which he didn't care about.
There's like, there's like three things I want. First of all, this picture on the back of you, like you can tell, like you can see the energy of what is happening in here between the two of you. And I just love it. It's so beautiful. Second, I actually am so excited to hear how you guys were going back through Return to Life, because I think it can be really easy, especially when we're doing this work a long time, even though you would teach the body in front of you, as a teach as we do in our own practice, we're like, but this is my double leg stretch. Like this is my side kicks, right? And so for you to go back and go, okay, but what is he doing? And almost take a 30,000-foot view of it, so that the person who gets to read this, it's not Brooke's spine stretch forward, it's not Maria's spine stretch forward, it's what Joe's intention of what spine stretch forward was. Is that the goal?
Yes. I mean, yes, and I added another layer, but yes. So in lockdown was when it was the first time I think I allowed myself to stop saying that Joe was wrong. I think when Romana always told us, soft knees, soft elbows, soft, it was about softening, and it had the dancer's lines. And, I understand, I really do get also what she was doing and why. But I just took that to be like, oh, he must have changed by the time he was with her. And then when I dug in to his books again for the 50th time, I mean, my God, those books are shredded. But this time, when you read from the place you are in that moment. And so when I read this time, I was like, wait a minute. And I started just, things started coming together in a way that they had never done before. The magic of lockdown. But I started saying, well, let me try some of this. And there was a lot of archival stuff coming out also. And so I was trying everything, and it was amazing in my body at things that I never thought would work. Were just, the locking. I'm hypermobile, and I thought, oh no, this won't work. And boy, it just changed everything. And I started teaching pandiculation in lockdown, and people were having these amazing revelations. I'm like, wow, my body hasn't ever felt like this. And I'm always told to soften everything. And so I was like, okay, so that started giving me confidence to like believe what you're reading and what Joe was saying. And then really recognizing that a lot of those positions that I was taking for granted, he's not high enough up on his elbows in the single leg kick, and like, if I had a chance to teach him, I would do it, I would correct him. I mean, really, ego, Brooke, but not that I have one, but boy, that's it's
for
pretty
every
arrogant.
watching, there's that picture of him doing teaser on the Cadillac, and we're all like, he could lift a little more.
So I think, when I started reading and then putting it together with what I already know, certainly about breath, he really wanted us much more rounded, because he really is trying to open up the lungs in the back. And I did a couple of years with a man named Lesley Logan, who's breath anatomy teacher. And that's my way of coming to anatomy, was through the breath. So really understanding actually what Joe was asking of us through the work, as in the exercises are actually, that's what's changing us. That's what Jay Grimes also, we let the work change you. We don't need to change the work. And so I hadn't realized how much the work had changed, even, in how I had learned it. So I think getting to go back to that. And then what I added in the pandiculation was this kind of like going into the antagonist before you go into the agonist. So if you're doing the roll up, allowing for an extension before you release and go into your flexion. And I found pictures of Joe doing something similar. And as he said in his books, what we do in one direction, we then naturally would do in the other direction. So it all was making sense to me. And then I just a leap of faith to put it into a book. And still, the jury's not 100% out yet, but I took a little bit of, I forgot that. What you say when I a little bit of
liberation.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a little, oh goodness, I took a little liberty. Yes, liberty. I took a little liberty with adding pandiculation as being, that's what Joe Pilates was talking about when he was asking us to put tension and relaxation into our bodies. That's one of his actual principles, like centering, rhythm, all those are from the 70s, from 𝐤𝐢𝐈, right? Or the 80s. Yeah. But Joe's principles were gravity, leverage, range of motion, and breathing, and your tension and relaxation. And tension and relaxation is exactly what pandiculation is. And I think that when he was saying stretch, what he was saying was pandiculation. It just wasn't a word until the 70s. And it doesn't even, it only has to be a word for long enough that you understand the concept. And then you can throw the word out and just know what you're trying to feel in your body. It's about feeling the work, being in the work, and letting the work be in you. But it's not about making a shape or ticking a box, saying did the 100, did the roll up. Ramona used to say even bad Pilates can be good for you. So I feel like I don't want to cancel out, like, sure, do the 100, do the roll up. But Joe said, no, you don't move on till you learned each one.
He did say
yeah. And if you think about it, it's like, yeah, take your time. How about just enjoy the 100 or enjoy the roll up? And maybe that's all you have to do that day. He said 10 minutes, start with 10 minutes. Yeah. So it's just, it changed so much. And I like kind of coming back to the more, it's simplistic in a beautiful way, Yeah. Okay, I've been talking too long.
No, you're great. I love it. Go ahead. Well, I don't want to cut Maria off, but I want to say, like, for those who are just joining on, like, we're talking about the new edition of the Pilates Body, and you will want, even if you still have your tattered one of 25 years, you're gonna want the new one.
They're different.
They're different. And and it's not just one chapter different. Like, from front to back. It's different.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that and noticing that.
I do think it's easy for someone, like I'll just throw myself in as an example. We updated the matte flashcards, right? From the first deck that I ever printed when I had no idea if anyone would buy them. And I had to spend buy 1,000. And I was like, oh my God, am I gonna lost my life savings? Anyways, once I saw people use them, I was like, oh, maybe we should have all the preps be their own cards, and maybe we should do this and we should do that. So people go, can I just buy the 12 new cards? Because it really, and I was like, oh, let me explain. I actually reread every single card. So you also from start to finish.
Yeah. Soup to nuts, reread every single word, changed the ones that I felt needed to be updated, put in different variations, put in Joe's archive. I call them archival. So Joe's archival transitions, so other than the pictures from the first book, I don't think that anything is the same other than maybe the format. Wow. Like, it won't feel so unfamiliar to see it again, but I definitely recommend reading it. It's not the same words. Some of so yeah. So it was exciting to get to do that. Yeah.
Maria, what was it like? Obviously you did the photo shoots. And a whole day. And by the way, if no one's ever done a Pilates photo shoot, it's the longest, exhilarating, hardest. There's no preparation for it, even if you practice every day. What was it like to go from that day to seeing it in print? What are you most excited about?
Well,
first we should say that the next day I said, how are you feeling? She's like, I feel amazing. So that's important.
Amazing. I got a 10-hour photo shoot of doing Pandiculation.
Yeah.
And I felt like $1 million.
So that doesn't shock me. That is, to me, that is proof of the work that Joe did. It was not overwork or underwork anything. And so everything should just feel good. So I love that. So I'm glad. Okay. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
And seeing it, I think this is a moment where I can be really candid with you.
Yes.
And with you all.
Yeah.
Hi.
No, they'll love
it. Being asked to be the model in this book was I'm trying to figure out the words to say. Not that I haven't thought about this, but it's like where to start. So it brings up a lot of stuff, right? My first reaction to Brooke was, are you kidding? Like, wait, are you sure? I mean, do you need a little more time to think about this? Like this seems a little rash. I was like, Brooke and I had been working out together for, a number of years previous. Like she knew my body. She across the Zoom Landia,
universe. Yeah.
I was like, you realize that I am a lot of like tits and ass right now. Right? I was like, so, 10 years ago, like this might have been, photo ready in a way. So it brought up a lot of my own sort of, little demon critic, right? Of, you've got no business, being the model for this book. Or, I think my first question to her was, well, I think I asked you, it's like, do you want to do this like before I turn 50 or after I turn 50? Or, my perimenopausal self was like, super triggered. Like, so do I need to go on some crazy bridal, boot camp? Like what are we talking about here? And it did. It like triggered a lot of like stuff as a, I'm trying to age gracefully, and I'm doing all the things. I'm taking all my vitamins, and I'm lifting heavy things, and
Yeah.
I have that personal trainer. She makes me lift shit, and it's hard, and
Mhm.
I'm doing all the things, but I also, my body is very different than it was, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So part of
Yeah.
me was just like, oh, no, 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 I can't do this. And Brooke really, like, she's the kind of person you want in your corner.
Yeah.
Like, she's your girl. She's
I don't
like,
feel like she's a hard person to say no
well,
to.
actually, she's the hard person to say no to. But she was like, I don't want boot camp Maria. I want you just as you are. I I see you. I've seen you move. I know. She it's like someone who just like sees right through all the bullshit and just knows exactly what she wants. And she was like, I'm not taking any of your it all of the things that I was like backtracking. She was like, no, 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 like
No.
push that aside, push that aside. That's not necessary, Maria. That's not necessary. Like, let's do this. This is a thing. She's like, look, look
It's
at me. Look at me.
it's so important also because yes, I had watched Maria move. I knew how beautifully she could move and how capable she was. Photo shoots are not easy. Everyone who
Right.
was in the original book were teachers that worked in my studio who happened to be dancers and could move their bodies in that way. It wasn't, I didn't go through a model search. They were right there under my nose and they wanted to do it. And I was very grateful that they did. But those are long, arduous days of shooting. And so you need somebody who can do that. And I knew Maria could. And I also thought, what an amazing role model. I mean, really, she is. She has the pedigree,
Yeah.
30 years of teaching. She was, what, 13 years under Kathy Grant? She has, it just, everything you would want. I just thought that that's the energy of moving forward into this new world where it's not about what, the skinny um skinny minis and it's not about that. She's
Yeah.
capable and strong and living her life
Yeah. And
healthy and
yeah. I think that's really important because I think that is ultimately the thing that really, for me, it was very clear, once I could like quiet the gremlins, right?
yeah
Because and even from the get-go, I knew that my answer needed to be yes. I knew my answer needed to be yes. And I probably said yes,
you
because I
did.
knew that I needed to say yes, but then I had to like kind of backtrack through my sort of panic and that little sort of, little gremlin voice, right? Because I really do believe that we are in a time that's really important that we disrupt these ideas of what it means to be, fit. What does
Yeah.
fit
Yeah.
look like? What
Yeah.
does strong look like? I am a perimenopausal 51-year-old, and this is how I am. And I can be fabulous. My my
Yes,
my
and
my
are.
size has never defined me. It's never defined my teaching. It's not been a thing, right? And yet our society and the messages that we are getting all the time about how our bodies are not right somehow, that
Somehow.
there's
Yeah.
something that we need to change or fix with anything. And I think women in particular, like we
Oh
deal
yeah.
with so much bullshit when it comes to aging, when it comes to our bodies just changing. Like like,
Yeah.
how like it doesn't make any sense that my body would
No.
be the same as it
No.
was
No, you're
10
you're
years
supposed
ago.
to be the same weight you were in high school. That's it. And it's this
Yeah.
Right.
great.
And
It's
so I was like, okay, Brooke, yeah, let's all right. So again, like what I was saying is like, okay, let's let's be a disruptor.
yeah.
Like
I
let's
I'm
and I
super stoked that first of all, like I'm so glad you came to yes. I do agree that like I do love that you actually gave yourself that permission to figure out how to get there because it is as much as every single one of us on this screen right now, those who are watching with us live and those who are watching this later, agree with everything you say. it doesn't mean that, going back to the earlier conversation, we don't have those little gremlins from how we were raised go, oh my gosh, should I wear this dress? Like, should I do this? It doesn't mean that on a bad day, someone's negative comment doesn't hurt. You know, we're all actual human beings and getting to
Yeah.
know our bodies, but it is important, I think, that we have something else to look at about what a Pilates body is and what is actual strength. Literally have a comment that Brad just read the other day. He's like, whoa, the comments on YouTube this week. I was like, oh, someone got real excited. I have to go in there and tell him what's up. He was like, you have love handles and you don't have a six pack, so you don't have a strong core. And I was just like,
Huh.
I would
Yeah.
like to see you do a teaser with the shave variation, sir. Would like to
Hello.
see that from you, Mr. Six Pack. No way. You know, so like obviously, like it took me a long time though. It took me into my 40s to get the gumption to go, here's two middle
Yeah.
fingers to you.
Yeah.
My whole 30s was, oh my God, I'm gaining weight. What are people going to say? Am I going to lose my client? You know what I mean? So I think it's like
Yeah.
so important that we have this new edition and this conversation. And
Yeah.
also, I love that we're acknowledging that it's still a process. It's still, we're still human beings, still trying to figure the
Absolutely.
love of ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's not like anyone's making it easy out there, you know, but
Yeah.
so we have to from the inside out. It's just
Yeah.
like Pilates, right? We got to change from the inside out. That's the thing. It's like, it's just, it is disrupting and it is just saying like, I'm doing it anyway. Yeah, sure. The fear's there. But I do want to hear actually, Maria, what did you feel? Because we weren't together when you actually opened your copy. How did you feel seeing yourself? Because you hadn't seen all the photos.
Yeah, no, you had sent me the photos, a couple sort of sheets, right? So it's like
Yeah.
all very small. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, seeing myself, again, it's a process, right? I'll be
Yeah.
completely honest, right?
Yeah.
So there, part of me is like, the little critic, comes in and, is like, well, you could have, lift your legs a little higher here and you could have, why didn't we try that? I should have gotten a little this or a little that. Um, but uh, but that, when you can quiet the
Yeah.
little gremlin,
Yeah.
um, then it's like it's really something. It's really something to see myself there, to see like I'm gonna like make a difference in people's lives, just seeing my body doing these exercises. um Seeing that there's, when I do a roll up, there's a couple little rolls that, pop
Rolling
out.
up.
It's rolling
Yeah.
up, and
Yeah.
and that is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's just about normalizing. I'm like, I'm going to be part of that conversation about normalizing, the body, the female body, the
Yes.
body
That's
in
right.
general. And
Yes.
that makes me really, really excited. And that makes me
Yeah.
really proud. And I'm proud of myself for being brave and for putting this, like taking up that space, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's really important that we just keep taking up that space and we keep saying it loud to the people in the back row, and that we keep like showing up. And I'm like,
Yeah.
there I am showing up. I am showing
Yeah.
up and I am, and I'm being authentically me, I mean, all of that could have been like photoshopped, right? I mean, honestly, right? We could,
I had
could
a
have
girl come
happened.
into
That
my
would have been
studio with a picture of a
right.
woman and she said, I want you to help me look like her. And I said, oh, honey, I don't
Right.
help people look like photographs. She's like, but that's me. And it was her, but she was a bra model and they
Right.
Oh,
photoshopped her. And I was like, you want me to make you look like something that
a
technology
Photoshop.
did? Like I can't.
Well,
So first of all, I think what's so important about this, and I could talk to you ladies for hours, and I hope that we get to keep doing this, but I really do think that this book is a permission slip. It always was for me, the original was a permission slip to do Pilates. What I think with the updates, Brooke, is that it becomes this permission slip for us to get to know our body in an even deeper way. And even though in the
Yes.
first book you acknowledge that every body is going to be different, to
Right. Yeah.
truly show like every body is different. And I will say, I hope this permission slip of what Maria and Brooke have done in this book for the people who are watching, I agree for louder for the people in the back. This is going to be a community-wide thing that is needed, where we need you to also, in your beautiful Pilates body, show up and not be hiding under, like, show it. And I say
Yeah.
that because yes, the 20 somethings who are so cute in their outfits. And my gosh, I wish I was 20 something today because the outfits are so cute.
Mm. Oh,
But
the outfits. Yeah.
the outfits, not the world, but
Yeah.
the
I was like, I don't
outfits.
want to be
They're
20
so
again.
they're
No.
so cute.
Yeah.
But they have the confidence of a 20-year-old to post themselves. And so they do. And we have gone through our lives and our bodies have changed.
Yeah.
And that has changed us from having the permission to be louder for the people in the back. And I think it
Yeah.
requires all of us to show what Pilates bodies actually look like. So I think,
Exactly.
like, Brooke, thanks for holding the stage. And Maria, thank you for
Mm.
saying yes. But also, we need to continue this conversation.
Right.
And so, one of the ways you can continue it, you guys, this week, you can get the Pilates Body second edition.
Right.
You can.
It ships on Tuesday.
That's right.
Holy
So
crap.
wherever books are sold, you can get this book. Please get
Yeah.
it because one, we want to support all the amazing work that Brooke did and also Maria
Thank
added
you.
to this. And we want to continue this conversation. This is one of the best ways you can do it.
Yeah.
You can get this for your friends who said they wanted to do Pilates. You can get it for people who are wondering if they are strong enough or capable enough. You can get it to study, you can get it to learn, you can get it to be on the coffee table at your studios, whatever it is, but get it. And let's continue to show people like what it truly means to be doing Pilates. It's not just a series of exercises. Yes, it happens to fall under the fitness regimen, but for I think all of us who are watching here today have taken time out of their Sunday know this is really what we do so we can do all of the fitness stuff.
Yeah.
I do
That's
this so
right.
I can go and lift those weights,
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. And like I said in the book, it's Pilates body isn't what it looks like. It never was meant to be that. It's what it feels like.
Yes.
What does it feel like to have Pilates in your body? That's that there's that thing that's like a beach body. What's a beach body? You have a body and you wear a bikini body, right?
Oh,
That's
bikini
what
body, yeah.
there's like a meme going around. Everyone has a bikini body. You just put a
Have
bikini on and you get exactly. So I feel like that everyone has a Pilates body. You just put Pilates in your body. If you have a body and you put Pilates in it, you got a Pilates body. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, again, Maria is a perfect example of 30 years of the practice in her body. I just think that's what it's about. It's about a daily practice. It's about loving ourselves as we are, come to the table as you are, and feel great. It's about feeling great.
Okay, go get your book.
Yeah.
Literally available after Tuesday, wherever
I have
books
to
are
keep the
sold.
Maria part.
Pre-order it, actually, wherever you are.
You can, although it's shipping on Tuesday, so I don't even know if that's a pre-order.
And then do us a huge favor. I'm frozen, but hopefully you can all hear me.
Yes.
There we go. Just gonna go with whatever is going on with my technology today. Thank you all so much for watching this live with us. Those of you who are watching this on the replay, thank you so much. Make sure you subscribe to this channel and share this with people who need to hear this, right? If you're like saying louder for the people in the back, also share it so it is louder for the people in the back. And grab your book. Make sure you tag Brooke and Maria when you get your book. I'll celebrate with you. You can tag me as well. I'm just so excited for both of you. I can't wait to squeeze both of you, hopefully in real life someday very soon. And you guys are awesome, amazing. Have an awesome day. Thank you all so much for working with the technology today, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you.